Hey everyone, finally doing the video on the 70-inch TV I've been hoarding for a while. I was hoping the issue is going to be internal power supply or a motherboard or something, but it ended up being that the whole screen is cracked and destroyed. As you can see, this thing just peeling off, completely trashed. Piece of garbage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart. I would say it's not a good idea to send all the parts to scrap, but I'm sure some will. But the boards, power supply, all that stuff still work on it, and they are worth money. I checked it out a little bit. Motherboards, power supplies, 100 to 50 bucks, little buttons and stuff, 10, 20 bucks. So it's not worth throwing it all in the trash and scrapping it, sending the boards to wherever you do your scrapping. But this is it, and I'm going to start taking it apart and see what's inside. Maybe get some values on eBay and stuff. So this thing's massive. I'm going to try my best to show you guys what all this looks like. There you go. So we got some screws. I probably have a lot of screws, not some. So let's start taking this bad boy apart. Good thing about this guy is that it comes with the stand, the feet, and those alone should be worth a nice little price. People always looking for stands and stuff, they're brand new. Because this actually came in a box. I find that little screws like this, if you sell them as a set, you might be able to get a few bucks for too. So I'm definitely gonna hold on to these. I've taken apart a flat screen once before, but nothing this big. And like I said, the parts are valuable. We're not talking about hundreds, multiple $100s or thousands in parts, but you know, a motherboard might be 50 depending on the model, or 100, and you got the power supply, which is usually what goes on these things on the TV. You know, those in general usually go for 50 bucks. I sold a one of those generic brands. I think it was a Emerson or a Emerton or something like that. Sold this power supply for 50 bucks. I sold a few other parts, the IR switch, and everything. And the fact that I'm gonna sell the parts for these, I already know that it works. Obviously I can't see the image because the image is destroyed, or the screen is destroyed. But it does turn on, all the lights turn on, and it tries to show an image, but all you get to see is cracks and the backlight coming through the cracks and stuff. So I know it works, but it's destroyed. Would have been nice to have been able to fix it. It being like me. Oh, I was really hoping I was just going to be a simple thing. But it ended up being that the screen was completely trashed. So financially unrepairable. not worth the money and the time. I think I got the bottom out. Pick up the screws. Let's turn this thing around. Everything's just cracking. Breaking off. Whew. It's hard to handle one of these monsters. It's so big. More screws, and we'll be able to see the internals. See all the internals and see what we can get out of this bad boy. At the time, I had paid $130 without seeing anything. It was this monster TV and I don't know what to call it, but kind of one of those standing lights that you put in the corner, and some other coffee machines and blenders are all defective. So it was even on 130, it was worth it. Let's get that screw out. I think I got all the screws. Something's being held. Let's see. There's a screw somewhere. Yeah, we missed this side. Right. There you go. So let's see what this massive TV looks like internally. Sure, there's not going to be a lot going on. Difficult to handle. There you go. Got it finally. Let's see what we have, all the goodies, all the parts that are working. Garbage right here. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Sorry about that. So let's see what we have here. Alright, sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't mess anyone up there trying to remove the camera. So we have the power supply here. Obviously we know it works. Like I said, I turned it on when I first got it just to be able to kind of test and see what's going on. So without, from what I remember, power supply was anywhere between 50 to 75. And we got the main board, which is the next part that actually has some value. I see here it has a Wi-Fi chip. So that's going to be interesting to see if that's worth anything separately. Then the other important part is this guy over here. I forget what it's called, but it is an important part of a TV. I recently sold one of these for about 20-25 bucks. Again, it was one of those generic brands, an Emerton or something, kind of like this TV, which is a Vizio. And we have the two speakers that I need to take out. And we have this guy here, which is all the buttons and stuff. I'm actually going to look at the back of the TV, kind of remove that and remove the plastic buttons and kind of match it with the board and sell it as a pair. And there should be an IR button, sorry, an IR sensor somewhere. But that, I'm guessing, is somewhere on this guy here. So let's see here. So we have the buttons I was talking about that I'm going to remove to match with its board. And then there must be an IR sensor somewhere. Sorry about all the movement. This wasn't there, so it must be, if it still exists, on the bezel somewhere, which is completely trashed. I think I found it. So that was the speaker. That just fell out. So I'm not sure where the IR sensor is or was. It might have been destroyed, like I said, because this thing was completely ravaged. So that's that. So there's a few parts I should be able to get, if I'm lucky, like on the best day type thing, maybe $200 worth of parts. If not, it'll be more about 150-ish. So now we're gonna remove the parts and see how that goes. And hopefully we find the IR sensor, but I'm not holding my breath. And everything else is going to go in the garbage. Well, when I mean everything else, meaning the plastic, the back here, it's all steel. So that might be maybe 50 cents. Since steel is almost worthless. These are the stands. These should be worth quite a bit. Wouldn't surprise me, they're brand new. Alright, so let's start taking things apart. So let's start with the speakers. A bunch of tape. Looks like they fell out pretty easy. Out. So that was super easy. Some nice little speakers. These should be maybe worth $10 at most. Surprising the speakers aren't worth much more. Okay, let's get the power supply off this guy. There you go. Nice. Actually pretty large power supply. It's the biggest power supply I've seen on a TV. I guess the bigger the TV, the bigger the power supply. So that should be a good $50. Once I'm done with the video and upload it, I'm definitely gonna go onto eBay, and in the description I'll add the pricing. Not sure what this cable is. I'm sure it's quite important. I'll hold on to that one. There you go. Not sure how I'm going to take out this antenna. It looks like it's all soldered in there. But I'm definitely going to try. Let's get this nice motherboard out. And I'm kind of gambling that the motherboard is working. Like, I know it turns on so the power supply works. Motherboard is a crapshoot. I'm not sure if it will. But like I said, the fact that it turns on and everything, there's a very good chance it does. Alright, so here you go. We got, I don't know what to call these, I guess. They're similar to I/O plates on PCs. I don't know if that's what you would call them on a TV. Here's a nice motherboard. All the connectors seem good condition. Like I said, I tested, or partially tested it. Then we have this Wi-Fi board. I don't know if it's Bluetooth also, but I'm really interested to see if this is sold separately and if it sells for more. This might be quite valuable. I'll have to check. Come off. Oh, there you go. This should be another 20 or so bucks. Again, like I mentioned, I don't remember what it's called. That, and then there's the switch over here, volume, and on and off buttons, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm guessing on this side is where the IR sensor is, but like I said, I didn't find it anywhere, so I'll search for that too, just in case. So the button should be another like 10 bucks or so. And then what we're left with is a big piece of junk full of plastic. Broken pieces. I'll put this down. You guys could see what stuff inside looks like. So there's the screen here, which is completely destroyed. And you have all the, I don't know what they're called, white screens. This is all garbage. Holding up. There's some more screws here. Let's take these off. See what's inside all those screws and stuff. I'm curious. I'm sure it's just a void of empty space. But might be cool to see what's inside. Alright, so there's all these screws up along this edge here, so taking them off. Thank God for drills and drill bits, because this would have taken forever to do by hand. Turn it around. More on the sides. Sorry for the bad video, it's kind of hard to do unscrewing and stuff at the same time as making a video. At least I haven't figured out the art of that. Oh, look at that. You take out the bracket here. The bracket here where the feet go in. I think I might take those out and put them with the feet. Make some added value. I doubt it, but alright. Something right here. Hopefully I don't cut myself with the glass. Show you guys where there's some gold on this stuff too. Because if you guys get a TV like this, you know, you might just have to scrap it. The parts don't work. Almost done here. Wow. Right. Oh, there you go. This is where you're gonna find a bunch of gold. So let's get this camera off. Let's show you guys some gold. So, if you guys can see, try to focus, all of this here, sorry for the bad focus, there's all sorts of gold here, some monolithic capacitors, even on these wires, sorry, these flex cables. There's gold. The ones that are glued on, there's gold, and this keeps on going and going and going and going and going. So you have gold upon gold upon gold, obviously gold plated. A bunch of monolithic capacitors, so that's nice for scrapping. Some flex cable, like you can see, has got a little damaged here. Some more gold. We got some wire. Wow, almost dropped that. And that's pretty much it. Some more cable here. Other than that, other than some boards, this long strip of board and some cables, there's nothing else left to scrap. Like, pretty much the whole value of this is these guys right here. And hopefully I can make a couple of hundred with that. I'll definitely check the prices on eBay and see how much all this stuff goes for and put it in the description of the video. So, wow, sorry, this was a rough video. Sorry about that. Pretty rough video. Trying to scrap this thing, take it apart, and handle it at the same time alone. But there you go. Hopefully, if you guys ever get one of these monsters that don't work, you can make some money out of it. Maybe a couple of hundred. Like I said, if the screen's good, the parts are cheap enough where, you know, if you figure out what's wrong with it, power supply or the board, can switch it for 50 or 100 bucks and sell something like this for 500. I was actually really hoping I was going to get this and put it in my den. Nice 70-inch TV for practically, what, 50 bucks, let's say. Would have been nice. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have another video up soon. Hey fellow YouTubers and scrappers. So I have these computer monitors, these flat screens. I have 4 of them which are exactly the same. None of them work, none of them power. Usually that's the power supply that's usually dead on these things when they do that. They're old, so not really worth finding the power supplies to repair them. So I've been hoarding these for the last few months. I've actually promised to make a video on these a few times, and I'm finally getting around to it. So I'm gonna crack one of these guys open and see what's in there. So I looked at this to see how this thing opens, and there's no screws. There's just this little crack here, and you just pop everything open. I'm guessing the screws are inside. See, so something holding it down here, but it doesn't matter because it's broken. So let's break it some more. Alright, so you can see everything is just coming out on its own. The wire here is causing us some trouble. Let's just cut the wire. Nice and simple. Make things a lot easier. So, as easy as that. So all you have is this empty case. So this just pops out. There's some screws here that are being held by this guy over here. Not sure how you get behind this, but it's not really important because, like you can see, the most important stuff's out of here. So you have some wire here with the speakers. These speakers I'm probably going to keep like I usually do. I usually sell these in lots. Big ones, small ones, I just lot them all up. People like doing little projects with them. Like in my last video I mentioned that I sold about 6 pairs of speakers, different sizes. And the guy was super happy when he got them. So not much there. So now what we have here, so we have what looks to be a power supply. This is probably what's dead on this thing. Then you have this little board here. You got this nice board up here, which has quite a bit of gold. So I'm going to show you guys, and quite a few of those monolithic capacitors. So let's unscrew this guy, see what happens, see what we find. I'm sure we'll find something interesting in here. But usually these flat screens don't have much, especially compared to the big ones from those big CRT monitors from back in the day. Those had quite a bit of aluminum and obviously copper. Alright. So, we have this little board here. Probably hard to see, but this here has gold. Quite a bit of those monolithic capacitors. Nothing too special over there. So we have the power supply over here. This is what's dead. And yeah, I can see here this transistor has popped, so that's why it's not working anymore. You can see it's hard to tell, but this one is flat on the top, and this one kind of has like a little bump, so we know this is the bad one. So definitely a power supply issue. This is metal, so obviously or metal. Obviously it's metal, meaning steel. So no aluminum or anything there. Let's take out the power supply. See if there's anything else in there. Take a closer look. One more screw over here. There you go. Take out the wires. So, this is the power supply. Obviously we've got some copper here. If you want to break it up, same thing here. Break it up, take out the copper. If not, we have some copper bearing motors. A little bit of copper here. Some aluminum. Some more copper in here. Few wires, brass connectors here. Other than that, the rest of it is pretty much low grade. Nothing too special there. Right, so you have some wire here with gold pins. Gold pins. I've actually been collecting gold lately. Not from fingers or anything, but from wires, because I get quite a few wires similar to this and some other nice gold bearing material that's small enough to store instead of, you know, piles and piles of fingers and everything. I'm collecting them. I'll make a little video on what I've collected, hopefully get some information of what you guys might think is the best way to get the gold out of there. I'm kind of averse to doing anything with acid because I do all this stuff out of my home and I have young kids and everything, so I don't want to do this stuff inside my home. But I have a plan to maybe go somewhere and do some of this gold extraction, refining, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna put up a video soon to show you guys what I've been hoarding. And maybe you guys could tell me what you guys would do at my place. Let's cut these wires up. So we got some wires over here. Let's see what else we have. So let's remove this plate here. We can open up the screen. Another piece of steel, nothing special. So we have these boards. These are the most interesting thing usually in these plasma screen, LCD screens, LED screens. These boards that connect to the actual screen. So first let's start with this little wire here. Can't get a good focus on it. There's gold, nice gold over here. And if you look at the board, it's gold all the way across here. These screens usually have some pretty decent gold screens like this. Compared to obviously the old school CRT ones. Let's try to move the other board. Give me 1 second here. I'll remove this board here. There's another nice, decent sized board with some good gold on it. So look at that. All of this over here is just all gold. All of this at the bottom here. All nice, nice, very nice gold. And you also have this connector up here. All gold. Some gold within the board here. Obviously some IC chips. Monolithic capacitors, which I usually love. I've mentioned this a lot of time. Very nice piece of gold. And even here, these little connectors. Kind of hard to see, but all of you, I'm going to cut these and they all have gold in them. So let's try to see what else. If we continue going into this, see what else we can find within the screen. I don't think there's much left, but you know, you never know. Sometimes you find things when you open these a little more, but I doubt it. If anything, maybe some more wire, and that's pretty much it. So obviously some steel, nothing special there. Take out this plastic contour. There you go. So now we're getting a little more into the screen, and I don't see anything really. Like I said, these tips here have some gold in them, but that's pretty much it for this. All the stuff from the screen, nothing too special. And I think there's a little bit more wire, and there's a little bit of wire. Once we remove all of this, just a bunch of plastic and material that's not very useful. And you get the last bit of wire, some more steel, and that's pretty much it for scrapping. So these screens, very simple, not too much in them, but there's some, like I said, some nice gold in there. So if you do get them, at least you get the gold for the people who do the extraction and the refining and all that good stuff. So that's it for my video. So like I said, my next video is probably going to be on the gold bearing material I started to hoard, and hopefully we can talk a little bit about that and maybe give me some ideas on how to go about getting the gold out of my material. So like, subscribe, comment if you have any ideas or comments. See you at my next video. Hey everyone, how's everything going? Hopefully all of you are making good money scrapping. So I had a friend who got a little angry at his TV, kind of smashed the screen. So this guy here, I think it's about 42 inches. Unfortunately, the screen is cracked, at least the internal screen thing, I think it's called a digitizer or something. That's busted up. In my area, no one wants these. Usually it's a power supply or a board that's broken, people might buy them. But once the screen is actually cracked, no one wants them. And I'm pretty sure this is an older TV. Also, I think it looks kind of like a HDMI, sorry, not HDMI, a LCD plasma TV. So people don't really care for these anymore either. So I'm gonna open this guy up and see what's inside. I'm not sure what's in here. I've never opened one before, but let's have some fun. So we got Nice hunk of cable, power cable. Now let's unscrew all the screws. There's plenty of these screws. Pretty much go all around. Thank God for electric screwdrivers and drills, because this would have taken forever to unscrew. I think I got all of them. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 14 screws to unscrew. So definitely would have really sucked if for some reason you didn't have an electric screwdriver. So this is coming off. Okay, is there one more screw somewhere maybe that we forgot? Not that I can see. Oh, that screw, maybe. There's one over here. Nope, I don't know. There you go. So you get a big useless hunk of plastic. And this is pretty much what you get. There's not too much in this stuff from what I know. Let's see. So we have this. This should be the power supply. I didn't find any parts for this I didn't find any parts for sale for this specific model TV. Unfortunately, so not much you can do there about selling the parts. Like I said, I'm guessing this TV is a little too old for it to be worth anything in parts, but I'm gonna check it out again just in case. Now that it's open with part numbers, you might be able to find another use for it, for a power supply to work on another model TV. You get the little input board here where you put your VGA, your HDMI, USB ports. You have your little, I think this is called, not a digitizer, I forget. This is pretty much, this works with the screen, relates to the video. It's a board in here. So, I'm gonna take all of this apart now. I'm not gonna keep you guys watching me unscrew all of this. So I'm gonna unscrew it and show you what's behind the next layer of metal and whatnot. So I'm back. I dismantled the whole TV. So we got a bunch of steel down here. Not too much steel. Then after opening up the screen and everything, got this nice board here. for people who do gold recovery off boards and everything. This is an extremely nice board. Very similar to what you'd find in a laptop. Those usually have some nice gold, but yeah, this one's a nice big screen, so there's quite a bit of gold. All these little things here, all the way to the ribbon here. Unfortunately, the screen is completely broken, and I was able to find online a replacement, and really not worth it. $200 to replace the screen. What else did we have? We had a bunch of other things too that were good, actually. I ended up, after opening it up and checking part numbers, for example, you have the inverter right here. If you look up the part number here, you'll find it's worth about $10. Then you have the main board with all the connectors and all that stuff. If you look up, where is it? This part number here, you'll probably see it's worth about anywhere between 40 and 70. I'm sure you'd sell it quite easy for 40. And then you have the power supply, like I had mentioned. Oop, that's upside down, the part number. So if you look at that part number over here, you'll see this also is worth about 40, 50 bucks. I didn't check the infrared board there, which allows you to open stuff with the remote and change channels. I know these are worth a little bit of money because they're a common thing to break. This and the power supply are common usually on TVs to become faulty. So I didn't check that out, but I'm sure it's worth at least 5, 10, maybe even more. And what I always do on PCs, speakers, all type of radios, all that stuff, is I keep the speakers. Usually they're always good. When I deal with this stuff, it's usually, you know, it hasn't been sitting on the curb or anything, possibly ruined by rain or anything. So I take these from PCs and laptops and I sell them, and you can get quite a bit for them compared to what you'd get for scrap. I recently sold about 14 speakers to someone who wanted to create something, and he was more than happy to pay $2 a set. So sorry, $2 a speaker. So made about 30 bucks off speakers. So I always keep those. Also, the base, I noticed, I don't want to turn it upside down because I can hear there's screws in there, but the base also sells for quite a bit, around 30 to 50 bucks. So my friend gave it to me. He was gonna trash it. Pretty much there's not much scrap because all the boards are good. Like I said, he just punched the TV and broke the screen. So for scrap value, there's not much scrap value other than maybe a few cents, maybe 50 cents or something of steel. There's that nice board I showed you on the plasma screen, which is pretty much full of gold for people who like to extract the gold and everything from boards and all that. So there's a nice little board there. I don't do that, so I'm probably gonna put it on my in my peripheral board pile and sell it like that. So I might get a quarter or something off of that. And the parts alone, there should be at almost $200, $150 to $200 in parts. So that's pretty much great news for something that my friend was about to trash. So you know, I couldn't find any information using the model number, but once I opened it, the dollar signs popped out. So that's great news for me. Make some money. Hopefully, this helps you make some money too by opening up these newer TVs, plasmas, LCDs, LED TVs. Just look at the part numbers. Every board has a part number. Somewhere on the board, just look it up and you'll find all the information you need. So there's no real use of putting any scrap value, because almost all of this is sellable online part wise. But let's say you do find one of these on the curb, obviously you could test it, but who knows if there's water damage or anything like that. So then you'd scrap it for scrap value. At least that's what I would do. And scrap value, maybe a few dollars. I don't think more than that. There's some peripheral boards, some gold plated stuff, like I said, the board and all the other boards and connectors and tips, maybe some silver and the little buttons, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully this video is going to help you guys out in regards to these types of TVs, and hopefully I'll come out with a new video soon. If you guys want to leave any comments, that would be great. Share information, that's even better. Everyone learns from it. If you guys have any ideas on how to fix this, the screen without actually paying $200 for a replacement, that would be extremely useful, and I'm sure extremely useful to a lot of people. So share, like, subscribe. Hopefully everyone gets to make some money off this video. Talk to you guys soon.